What happens when the people you trust most are the ones who might betray you? Episode 4 of Peacemaker Season 2 doesn't just push Chris Smith deeper into chaos. It forces him to face the truth about family, loyalty, and love, and the answers may tear his world apart.
All I've ever wanted is to be a real hero.
You're one of us. We need you.
You ready for the next adventure, pal? I'm gonna pretend you found that.
Welcome back to Review. Today, we're diving into Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 4, a slower, more introspective chapter that still packs emotional punches, brutal fights, and shocking betrayals. This episode may not be as explosive as last week's Rick Flag twist, but it lays the groundwork for some of the darkest turns yet. Before we break it down, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell icon so you never miss a deep dive. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around until the end of this breakdown. The episode opens with a haunting flashback. A young Chris Smith, still under the shadow of his abusive father Auggie, goes hunting with his family. What begins as a typical outing takes a terrifying turn when they encounter a strange alien being. Despite Chris's protests, Auggie pulls the trigger, killing the creature in cold blood. From its remains, they uncover something extraordinary. A briefcase-like key, the very tool that controls the interdimensional door we've been following all season. This reveal changes everything. For so long, Auggie's villainy felt rooted in his cruelty and hate. But here we see the truth. The quantum unfolding chamber was never his creation. It was stolen. This moment reframes Auggie not as a genius mastermind, but as a pathetic opportunist. A man who built his reputation on blood and theft. The flashback also sets the stage for Chris's internal conflict. This door isn't just science fiction tech. It's a symbol of his family's corruption. A curse passed down that now haunts every decision he makes. Back in the present, the pressure mounts. Argus closes in on Chris's house, and with them comes chaos. John Economos finds himself under the suspicious eye of Bordeaux and surrounded by agents who don't trust him. The tension inside the van simmers as old grudges resurface. Judomaster, still bitter from his last encounter with Chris, joins the fray. Meanwhile, Red St. Wild, an eagle hunter, arrives with one chilling mission: to kill a GLY. For fans, this moment is terrifying. When St. Wild aims his gun at Peacemaker's loyal companion, the stakes hit home. Eagly isn't just comic relief, he's family. Economos manages to send Chris a scrambled warning just in time, and the result is both suspenseful and hilarious. As Argus storms the house, Chris narrowly escapes, leading to one of the episode's best fight sequences. Peacemaker versus Judomaster. The clash is brutal, messy, and surprisingly funny. Judomaster nearly chokes Chris out, but in a desperate stumble, Chris crashes on top of him, knocking him out cold. It's a fight that proves Judomaster's skill, while also reminding us that Peacemaker survives as much by luck as by strength. Through it all, Argus struggles to access the dimensional energy, forcing Economos into an impossible choice: his duty or his loyalty to Chris. For John Economos, Episode 4 is a turning point. We've always known him as the reluctant ally, the man stuck in the middle, often the butt of jokes. But here we see his true colors. When Argus pressures him to crack the code to the portal, he doesn't just comply. He talks back. He spits on Flurry. He risks everything by stalling, buying Chris precious time. This is not the timid analyst we met in Season 1. This is a man willing to defy authority to protect his friends. Meanwhile, Chris reaches out to Adebayo. She's been struggling, her marriage failing, her career in shambles. Yet when Chris calls, she shows up. She helps him relocate the portal, driving him out to his grandfather's hunting cabin. Together, they set up the device, creating a diversion that fools Argus into opening nothing more than a regular closet. It's a small victory, but it means everything. Here, Chris finally opens up to Adebayo. He tells her everything about the parallel world, the other Auggie, Keith, and his alternate relationship with Harcourt. She questions his sanity, but Chris's confession reveals something deeper. He isn't chasing power. he's chasing redemption. For the first time this season, we see his nobility, not just as a fighter, but as a man determined not to fail the people he loves. Just when the episode seems grounded, it veers into bizarre territory. After his failed attempt to kill Eagly, Saint Wild suffers a head injury and begins to believe in something far stranger. Convinced that Eagly is no ordinary bird, he calls him a primal eagle, a mythical leader of his species, whose death would cleanse the country's sins. To prove his theory, Saint Wild performs a ritual with his own blood, tracking Eagly's location to Chris's grandfather's cabin. What could easily play as absurd comedy takes a darker turn as the ritual actually works, pointing the way. Even Chris seems unsettled, hinting there may be some truth to the madness. This subplot is divisive. On one hand, it pushes the show's trademark weirdness to the limit. On the other, it raises a question. Just how far can Peacemaker bend reality before it snaps? Eagly hugging Chris was already surreal, but a prophetic Eagle King? That's a new level of strange, even for James Gunn. Still, the scene keeps tension alive. Eagly is more than a pet. He's a symbol of Chris's fragile hope, and now even that is under threat. The most gut-wrenching turn of episode 4 comes not from Argus or the alien tech, but from someone far closer to Chris's heart, Harcourt. We learn that Rick Flag SR has been pulling strings behind the scenes. He visits Harcourt, confirming what she's long suspected. Amanda Waller blacklisted her, ensuring she'd never work in intelligence again. But Flag offers her a deal. Bring him Peacemaker, and he'll restore her career. It's a cruel twist of fate. In Season 1, Harcourt was Chris's anchor, the one person who believed in him when no one else did. Now, she's faced with a choice. Betray him to save herself, or stay loyal and lose everything. Their dynamic already carried emotional weight after Chris's bond with the alternate universe Harcourt in Episode 3. Now, the betrayal looms like a dagger between them. For Chris, who has finally started to believe he can change, Harcourt's decision could shatter him completely. Episode 4 ends on this knife's edge. While not the most action-packed entry, it sets the stage for heartbreak, betrayal, and choices that will define the rest of the season. Episode 4 of Peacemaker season may second be slower, but it cuts deep. It strips away illusions, reveals hidden truths, and sets up betrayals that will test every bond Chris has left. From Auggie's stolen legacy to Economos' loyalty, from AGLY's bizarre myth to Harcourt's impossible choice. This episode reminds us that the greatest battles aren't fought with fists, but with trust. So what do you think? Will Harcourt betray Chris to reclaim her life? Or will she stand by him against Rick Flag Sr.? And do you believe Eagly is more than just a bird? Comment below. I'd love to hear your theories. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss next week's deep dive. Until then, this is Review signing off.